Drama Bonded.
Welcome to our podcast. I'm Jess.
I'm Andy.
We're drama bonded, and we're back.
We're back.
Yeah. How's things?
Better. How are things with you?
In ways they're good, and in ways my world is crumbling. Donald Trump getting permission to dismantle the Department of Education, working in higher ed, going to school for higher ed, just sort of entrenched in political stuff way more than I am used to. But also there's good things going on. Got really good people around me. I'm enjoying a break from school. So a little give and take.
I mean, the Donald Trump stuff, woof. I know that's weighing very heavily on you right now, and it's weighing heavily on a good portion of the country.
I would hope so. I hope people are alarmed, at least. Please.
But I'm glad you're enjoying a break from school and some good things amidst the storm.
Yeah. So, anything you want to talk about? Update everybody on?
A little update. I am doing much better since the last time we podcasted. After a couple surgeries and a clear CT scan. So far my CT scans are looking clear. And so now I'll just be having CT scans every 3 months for 2 years and just cross my fingers that things stay that way. And since I've last talked to you, I got a new job. I'm living in a little house,
the cutest little house too. You have decorated it. You walk in and it is just so quintessentially Mandy. It feels so good to be in there. Very cool. I'm so happy for you.
Thanks, Jess. I don't know. I'm calling this new phase of my life Mandy 3.0. It feels like I'm on the up and up, and I'm just trying to lean into that and be grateful for it.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, have you had any good candy lately?
Candy reviews with Andy and Jess.
Oh gosh, good candy. What have I had lately? Have you?
I've been kind of obsessed. We didn't come prepared really to talk about candy very specifically, but there are some sour gummy bears that I've been getting at Smith's that I feel like have the most amazing texture I've ever had in my life. And we know this, I don't gravitate towards sour, not particularly my jam, but I seek these gummy bears out. I'll find the name and post it so that I'm not just teasing people with really good sour gummy bears.
Are these the ones that you shared with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, they do have really good texture. So someone at my work keeps their desk stocked with candy, which I very much appreciate.
Oh, yeah. We love those coworkers. Thank you.
Do you remember those Taffy Town Bear Lake raspberry taffies that I gave to you?
Mm-hmm.
So Taffy Town also makes a flavor that I recently tried called, I think it's sour melon, and damn, they are so good. I think I might like them more than the raspberries.
Whoa, okay. I remember, I'm not a fan of raspberry flavor, but I do recall eating all of those.
Yeah, I mean, same.
So good.
They were because they were a little bit tart, and they also had raspberry seeds in them.
The texture was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Taffy Town is changing my opinion about saltwater taffy. Usually not a huge saltwater taffy fan, but damn.
Shout out to Saltwater Taffy Town.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what? I do want to caution everybody against the Jolly Rancher ropes.
Don't buy them.
Right? Honestly, it's rare. I mean, I guess that Shaquille O'Neal candy was also pretty bad. I did not eat that. But these ropes are they're not edible. The texture is wrong. The flavor's
wrong.
And it had so much potential, and it just was a huge flop. Jolly Rancher ropes, no.
No stars. It's like they jumped on the rope trend without being prepared for it. It's this is great. And then they didn't crowdsource it or get second opinions on it.
Nothing.
I don't know how that candy made it into production. The texture's terrible. It's so gooey.
So gooey.
And the flavor
It's
was
like it's not a rope. It's just a
No.
gooey gummy that got like force shaped into a string, but like nothing about it is rope. It's just mushy gummy. Yeah.
The best part of a rope is the texture combined with the powdery inside.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I need to order more Palestinian ropes, like ASAP. It's time.
I could eat more this time.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to spend $100 on candy, you guys, but it's worth it.
We need some sweetness in our life.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Do you want to start with Bachelor in Paradise?
Wow, let's do it.
Because that's like taking us back to our origins. I mean, I think that's been our favorite iteration of this series, and it's back on, but it is not the same.
So if we have any new listeners to this episode, which I don't know the chances of that happening since we've been kind of on a hiatus. But if we do, this podcast started out as a Bachelor podcast.
Yeah.
And then eventually we branched out into Bravo, like Vanderpump Rules.
Well, I think out of sheer necessity, we had to start covering Vanderpump Rules. We were forced into it by Scandival. There was no way we could not talk about that. So
it occupied too much of my brain.
I will never forget you coming over. You were a woman possessed. You like came in the door and you had like this frantic energy and you were like, Jess, you will not believe it. And you're describing it to me and you're like, I don't know who anybody is. But I knew it was a big deal. The biggest.
Well, once you caught up, wasn't it?
The biggest. Well, I mean, also culturally it kind of caught fire. If I'm probably not. I don't know. I mean, that man, what was it? The New York Times, the Washington Post? There was a huge article about it, of Scandival.
New York Times.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do feel like it broke past our bubble of reality TV into the larger cultural ethos of like drama and cheating.
Yeah. I mean, Ariana went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
That's right.
Yeah.
Also, that is what spawned us watching Love Island, is because then Ariana became the host of Love Island. Here we are. It's all connected.
So thank you, Scandival, for today's podcast content.
Yeah, because, we're going to start with Bachelor. We're going to move into Love Island. Then we're going to talk about the Valley. And maybe a little Big Brother. I don't know. We'll see how we feel at the end there. But
you guys are so much TV right now.
So much TV. I'm like overwhelmed at the moment because now with Big Brother 2, I have daily podcasts. And because it's early on, they're like an hour and a half long each. Like I just have no time. I can't watch all my shows, listen to all my podcasts. It's a really great problem to have. And also,
it's a great problem to have.
I'm overwhelmed.
It's the summer is like TV Christmas.
For us, for reality TV, this is where everything comes out. Yeah.
All right. So Bachelor in Paradise was not here last year. It's had a makeover.
Pretty big makeover.
And what do you think of the makeover?
Okay, so also we're just gonna briefly talk about this first episode because apparently it's 2 nights a week, and I have not watched either episode this week. So it is, I think in a way I like it because it's nice to have something so differently produced and like overproduced, but better overproduced than sort of original Bachelor in Paradise, like introduction and the way that they handled all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's still campy, but I don't know. Part of me, and I know we need to treat contestants better. So this is not necessarily that I want people to be like actually miserable or suffering, but like I like it when they don't have air conditioning and kind of have to deal with the bugs a little bit more. And I miss that.
I do too. I think that added personality to Bachelor in Paradise, the fact that it was kind of this glamping experience. So a lot of the girls weren't wearing a ton of makeup. We saw people's like real hair. I also think it kind of added to some of the stress and anxiety that the contestants were feeling.
We also need justice for Tajwan. She needs to come back and be able to experience air conditioning.
I agree. Also, I loved her.
Me
So
too.
yes, come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my review is a little bit mixed. I think the production is obviously uh I think that they're gearing towards like the Netflix reality series Love Island. They're definitely starting to follow some new trendy producing styles. Which it is kind of apparent now seeing the new one how far behind Bachelor is in general with a lot of the producing and editing styling that they're doing.
Yep. Very. Yeah.
That being said, it didn't feel like a gradual change. It was like we went from the old style to this new style, it was just kind of a jarring. It was like, whoa, what am I watching?
Well,
It just felt,
especially that introduction with Jesse.
yeah,
Yeah. It was like, this does not fit
it
the
didn't feel like
vibe.
Bachelor.
No.
So so we went from Mexico on the beach to all of a sudden we're at this hotel in Costa Rica. Not only like the editing style is totally different, but they're also it's really choppy and fast and there's a lot of one-liners and it's kind of quippy, and then I also feel like it's visually super filtered. I told you this. Like it's so filtered because the oranges are more oranges and the blues are more blue.
I love that you have an eye for this because I see things like this and my instant reaction is just, man, I am not as attractive as some people. But then it's like, oh, duh. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense that, like, and not that these aren't some of the most beautiful people, not to say that, but like they do seem like more beautiful than I remember. So that's validating.
Yeah, this filter makes everyone look more attractive because it's making everyone look a little bit more tan, and it's making the water of Costa Rica look more blue, like the water of the swimming pool. And so I don't I don't mind when things are filtered. It just seems really filtered. It kind of reminds me of like back in the early Instagram days when it was like
Oh, yeah.
obviously filtered. So I don't know. It's just a lot. And then we also have like the addition of Hannah Brown and we have the addition of challenges, which you and I have been talking about how Bachelor in Paradise needs to be gamified for years.
Yes.
And so I do think it's exciting that they're starting to listen and add some new things into the show. That being said, granted, I've only watched one episode. I'm not quite sold on the way that they're integrating everything in yet.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you on all that. And I think for me, it's also jarring. It's not just the filtering, right? It's the editing. It is this sort of like the extended periods of time where this is clearly a skit. It's breaking the fourth wall by having contestants being recorded talking to the producers. And that all together really just shifts. Not that you and I have any delusions that like reality TV is reality, but there is an element of unscriptedness. And I think it is when we step back and look at production value or production influence, it feels so heavy handed in this. And it makes it very hard to discern then like, we're getting an edit. We're getting the best story that they could tell, not necessarily what happened.
Yeah, I agree.
And so that always is like, it's fun because then we can talk about these people and we're not talking about real people. They're these folks on the show. And once they're off the show, we have no idea who they are. But the flip side of it is it just feels really inauthentic. And I think one of the fun things about Bachelor in Paradise is that we got a lot of authenticity. We got cakes in the fire, cakes in the waves. It was, I don't know. It was different. And this feels different. It could be really fun. But at the moment, yeah, I'm with you. I'm like, oh, I'm skeptical.
I am also skeptical. I'm going to watch because,
yeah.
I'm down to give the whole season a college try and see if it ends up being better than we think it was going to be. Nick Viall said that the people he knows in production said that they're proud of the season. And so I usually think that tends to mean something. But we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be lots of content.
So far, I'm not super excited about anyone on the cast.
Well, it feels like without the Bachelorette, we're short a lot of men.
Yeah.
And so this is just a bros vacation for Jen's season, basically.
Mm-hmm. With Dale. So
Who?
Dale was from Claire Crawley's season.
Oh, I know.
She ended her season early and just was like, "This is my man," and he left engaged with her, which was like so crazy because I think it was only 4 or 5 episodes in. And that's when Tayshia came over and tra la la.
And Blake Moynes
But
fell in love with both of them.
yes.
Mhm.
So that's Dale. We don't know him super well because he was only on our televisions for a very limited amount of time. It's so funny because when he came in on the boat, all the women were like immediately enamored with him. And don't get me wrong, he is objectively attractive, but I wasn't. I was like, he's fine.
I mean, I think maybe most of them are just slightly too young to have like really paid full attention to all the context around Claire and Dale, and like,
That's fair.
they just don't have any of that. So their vision of him is not. I don't know. They're just seeing Dale for the man that's standing in front of them without, I would imagine, some of the context that is shaping the way that he appears to the rest of us. Maybe because like I don't get it either. I think he's got very little charisma. There's zero chemistry as far as I can tell with Kat. Like he respectfully, like he just seems like kind of a boring guy, and that's okay. But like that's not who I'll date a boring guy, but I don't want a boring guy on my TV.
Same. And maybe he skipped the last season of Bachelor in Paradise because he obviously didn't see Kat's Paradise Crazy.
She's getting the Shanae. She's
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I also thought it was kind of a bummer that we lost 4 men like right off the bat. It just seemed kind of like a lot. And they brought in, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't love Sam, but they brought in Sam, they brought in Dale, and didn't they bring in, who else did they bring in last minute? And it was just like, why did they bring in all of these people only to eliminate almost half of them?
That's right. Who else came in? Justin was somebody who came in. Obviously, he's still there. Sam, I can't remember.
It's okay. I can't remember either, but I just felt like I would have liked a couple of these guys to stay longer and see if they connected with the new women on the beach. Even though I don't like Sam, I think that he would potentially be interesting in the Paradise dynamic.
He's such a weirdo. He just is like quoting Nicholas Sparks movies left and right. Like, I don't know if that's like a bit or if that's really just the basis for his understanding of romantic love. I don't.
That's fair. What do you think of the Jess and Spencer of it all?
First off, Jess and Hannah Brown look so much alike to me.
Oh, yeah. I think I clocked that when Jess was on her season.
Yeah. I don't know. Spencer and Jess, they're both weird. I don't know. I see it. What do you think of it? They're going to maybe like, I don't know. I feel like it's either going to go far or it's going to blow up.
I mean, I kind of see them ending the season together, to be honest. I did think it was interesting that as soon as Spencer came in the Paradise scene, it felt like, wow, I didn't get to know this version of Spencer on Jen's season at all. Like, I didn't know he was chatty. I mean, I knew he was kind of nerdy with his, like, with his occupation and stuff like that, but I didn't know he was, like, loud. I didn't know he was chatty. I don't know, just, like, basic things about him. I said, we didn't get any of that on Jen's season.
That he can bounce his pecs.
Oh, yeah, he can bounce his pecs. Didn't know that. Yeah, so I don't know. I do like to see more people's personality on Paradise, and that's why I like Paradise, is because whenever they go on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, we get such a filtered version of them.
Yes.
And we get to know them so much more clearly on Paradise, at least like less filtered and less edited. So I like that.
Right, because I think with The Bachelor, it's such a singular focus of like end up with this one person, whereas Bachelor in Paradise, like, who the F even knows? So they're much more willing. Like, I think it's easier to accidentally even step in it than it is on The Bachelor, Bachelorette. So yeah. I'm really surprised that Jonathan pulled Alex. But hey.
Yeah. Jonathan, I just don't get a lot from him. I think that he has a really hot body, But in my opinion, he's kind of lacking in the personality and charisma side of things. It's like his personality is that he works out. And
Yeah.
I need more from Jonathan. Also, I think Alex was the one that called him out on like not really pulling women. And I was like, that's true. Like, I don't think he was really going out of his way to like connect with anybody.
No, he wasn't. I think, and that's one of the things that always a little bit bugs me about the show. So maybe it is good that we sort of have almost like instant death rounds where people are just gone. Because I think the guys get so comfortable and then they just end up broing it out and just kind of like settling and being fine with whatever so they can have guys' vacations.
Mm-hmm.
And I need that
That's
to
true.
stop. So I don't know.
I was kind of bummed that guy that was on Katie Thurston's season for 2 seconds went home.
Kyle.
Kyle. He was pursuing Bailey. I was kind of bummed he went home. I don't know. I was like, he's attractive. He seems nice.
I mean, Mandy, he's such a normie. I could see you dating somebody like that, you know? Like,
Well-
and like, yeah, we'll hit him up after this, but he's not necessarily riveting television either. Like, he just honestly seems like somebody you would want to know and hang out with, not like...
Okay, but I thought he was communicating well with Bailey, and I thought it was cute, like, how intentional he was being with her, and I don't know.
yeah,
I just thought that he seemed like... I don't know. I could tell that he was way more into her than who's the guy that she picked?
Oh, yeah, Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Jeremy's got the riz.
Yeah, Jeremy's just there to fuck around. You know what I mean?
He still is so hot to me, and I hate it because I can see what a fuckboy he is, but it's fine. He's hot.
Okay,
but yeah, no, I agreed. I was shocked by that too. I really like Bailey, my girl. This is not going to end well for you.
Jeremy did not read fuckboy on Jen's season, so we didn't find out he was a fuckboy till after that. And now it's kind of weird because I'm being like, this guy took Jen to a grocery store at a hometown date, and now he's like a fuckboy, and he
did show up in the like Lamborghini.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That was a pretty big red flag, actually, in retrospect. But you know,
I guess we shouldn't be surprised that Bailey's like chasing the boy that we know is just gonna like go date all the other girls. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that's just the way things go sometimes.
Yeah, and really quick, Zoe should not be going after Brian. Stop. Get away from that man. He is no good. None.
No good.
She's so hot. She's so smart. She is so above him. I'm sorry. No, ew. I do not like that man.
I'm also a little bummed Hakeem went home.
Hakeem.
I know he's like kind of a lot, but I don't know. I wanted him to have like a chance.
Why was he hanging out with the Mormon wives?
Oh,
I have no idea. He's around these parts.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I should date Hakeem.
Yeah, that's another on the list.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just see what happens. I'm also not completely understanding why Hannah Brown's there. It just seems like a lot, and I don't think that we necessarily need her, but maybe she'll add a lot on the season, and I don't know.
Maybe
I like Hannah Brown. I just don't understand why she's there.
Yeah, hopefully she gives decent advice, though. You know, maybe they could have brought in like an actual therapist or, you know, I don't know, somebody that could help everybody navigate difficult situations.
Yeah, I don't really know why she's there.
Well, we will find out.
All right, we're committed to paradise.
We're doing it. Oh, man. We just wrapped up Love Island.
Okay, I know we're a little late to the game, guys, and there were so many times we had intentions of, like, we would be talking, and Jess was like, should we just record this right now?
Yeah.
So there were so many times this season, Love Island season 7, that we wanted to jump on and start recording, and just due to one thing or another, I feel like one of us has constantly been in a stage of transition over the last couple months. And so, you know, we're getting to it a couple days post finale, but we are here to talk about it.
Yeah, we are. I hated it. I felt like this season was so rough, and yet so much happened. It's hard to imagine.
You hated this season?
I did. I did not love it. Like, I liked aspects of it. Team Nicolandria for life. But overall, I found it to be very frustrating.
I think I really liked this season up until Casa Amor.
Yeah, Casa was weird this year. They ruined Casa by forcing everybody to recouple.
Yeah, I felt like the season started pretty strong. I fell in love with the cast pretty quick. Obviously, certain cast members over others. But I do feel like the way that they did Casa, like you said, making them couple up immediately, getting into Casa, it I felt like it kind of ruined everything. Um, it it also was weird that they kind of gave the Casa people, priority over the original people, and they were sending Nick and Alandria home, and then there was that weird, like, Nick and Alandria coupling, and I don't know, I just felt like the whole flow of it didn't really make sense to me, and it also felt like because the couples were coming into Casa single, it was, like, encouraging them not to stay coupled up when the one thing we needed on this season was for people to be coupled up. So it was
Yeah.
almost, like, reaffirming that they just were gonna do whatever, and I was like, I know that the connections back in the villa weren't the strongest, but there was still, like, something,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I agree. I think that this was an influencer heavy season, and I don't want influencers. Like, I don't want
Same.
people who are just in like, of course I want people who are going to play the game, but like you want people who are going to do it. I hate to say the right way, but like in a genuine way. And everybody on here was just trying to get more airtime because they already have hundreds of thousands of followers, and this is a way for them to get more. And so, yeah, the
Well, not all
connections.
of them, but a chunk of them, yes.
Yeah, and I just sort of didn't love I didn't love the lack of connections. Like, everything felt pretty forced for quite a while. I just also wanna give a shout out. So, IHART Erica with a K on Instagram, I think has done a really good job breaking down a lot of the politicized nature of the show, the way race has come into all of this, and does a far better job than I could, and has been doing almost every episode on her Instagram feed. And they range from like 3 minutes to 10 minutes. And if you want some really good commentary, highly recommend go watching her videos.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think she talked about it in a really eye-opening way. I mean, she's a sex educator, so she's also aware of like trends in porn and how that has like been reflected back through Love Island, which was really fascinating. Like, just some cool stuff. So again, I heart Erica on Instagram.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think there were some problematic things with this season too. I mean, 2 people got kicked off for racism,
Mhm.
which come on, do better. Why is production so bad at vetting these things?
You know what's interesting? Someone on a podcast recommended that they should release the cast of people, like, I don't know,
Oh,
a certain amount of time before the show starts, and then let the internet do its work.
I love that. I mean, that's free labor. Producers should be doing it. However, yes, leave it to the internet collectively to uncover all stones.
Well, it
Yeah.
seems like it'd save them some trouble because it's not a good look having people just disappear in the night.
Yeah. So weird. Her
And also, I think that the show needs to do a better job of like of kind of addressing why people are leaving the show, even if it's
100%.
not. I don't think that they have to get super in the weeds with it. I think when who was the first girl that got kicked off? Ulyssia?
Yeah, something like
I
that.
don't know. She was only on for like an episode and a half, but all of a sudden she was just gone. And I guess the only thing Ian said was that she had left the villa. And not a lot of the times when I'm watching the show, I'm kind of multitasking or not.
Same. It
completely
took me a few
focused.
days to realize that she was gone and that's what had
Yeah.
happened, because it was like, it was like a 2-second statement and then it was done.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden Ace is single, and it's left me Googling. I couldn't remember her name because she had not been around for very long. And so I was like, Love Island woman gone from Villa season 7. Like, that's what I was Googling because I was like, what happened to her? And so, especially with the Sierra thing, when she was such a massive part of Nick's storyline and everything, I just felt like the audience deserved a little bit more context of why she's suddenly gone. And I also think it would be helpful for us to know if the cast knows why she's gone, because that would
Yes.
make the way Nick is moving after she's leaving. It would make so much more sense if we knew that, he was on the same page with production of why she wasn't there, and he was open to new connections because maybe that influenced
Or if
his
he's
feelings
just
for
worried
her.
that she left because of some family emergency and they weren't going to say anything.
Yeah, we don't know that.
I did find out, at least it was my understanding, British Zach did an interview and basically implied that they didn't witness her being asked to leave or like how production handled that, but it does sound like they told the cast that it was for using a racial slur.
Yeah, and like I did find out that he knew, but I'm saying
it should be more obvious. We shouldn't have to hear it in passing on random,
Podcasts.
Snapchat videos from these. Yeah. So I agree. I think also it's a really good opportunity to be like, hey, this is not okay. Here are resources to look up, blah, 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 something like an acknowledgement rather than just sort of pretending that that's not what's happening. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, well, should we talk about the people on Love Island? Who did you love? Who did you hate? I don't know. Everything. Tell me all the things.
Okay. Well, just since I recently watched the finale, I'm just going to say that while I struggle a lot with Huda and a lot of the things Huda does, at least Huda made the finale a little less boring.
Yeah, it was good for Huda to be humbled. Chris is catching some shit online for the way he handled the not wanting to carry her, but like...
Oh, I wouldn't have carried her.
No, she had been such a dick. Like, I'm sorry. I think he really rolled with that with like so much grace, because if he had stepped like one toe actually out of line, he would have been crucified. Like,
totally.
He had room to, I think, push back on her more, and he didn't. Props to Chris, because damn, Huda. I hope she goes to therapy.
Yeah, I agree. I think the one thing that I am not a huge fan of Chris for is it was really obvious that he had no intentions of pursuing things outside the villa with her, but he didn't want to be the one to make that decision or say it.
I know.
And so he was doing the thing which, I don't know, I guess both men and women do this in relationships where basically you just start not trying until the other person breaks up with you because you don't want to be the person who does the breaking up with. And
spineless
I could tell that
behavior.
what he was doing. And I really hated that he was like, I said I was open to pursuing things and it's your decision.
Ew,
so
I
didn't
that
love
too.
that.
No, that's
I didn't
not
love
right.
that. If you don't want to be with her, then, like say, I don't think we should pursue this anymore. I didn't love that he was like faking that he wanted to date her outside the villa when he knew he didn't want to.
Yeah, that I will give you that. I didn't love that either. I think that that's pretty shitty. But man, Huda, Jeremiah, Huda.
I will say though that editing with like their performer singing Moon River and the Moon River we were hearing, I'm sorry. I know that like so many parts of this scene were cringe, but it also was just chef's kiss.
I know it
good
truly,
job, producers.
Yeah, no, that was the only, like, yeah. Otherwise, it was a very boring finale.
Like him not carrying her and her going back for that champagne bottle.
Yep,
it was so good.
So good. Yeah, I definitely had to speed through a lot of things, but I did go back and rewatch them when I felt a little ready, like more ready to experience the cringe of it all. And yeah, it was good.
It was a little wild that they made Chris and Huda still like read those letters to each other. I didn't quite understand why.
I don't either. Like, can they just go home? Like, they're done. Like, they're not together. They're null and void. They don't get to win. They would never win. Like,
I mean, technically, I think that if they had been voted, they still would have won, right?
Yeah, I don't know Love Island as well as I'm sure other people do, but like that seems like that would be a good moment to take the money and run.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ace and
Other
Shelley
couples?
for me. I waffled in and out just because Ace, I feel like I had some real issues with all season,
Same.
but towards the end, I don't know. I think maybe the America vote or like how America was viewing everybody challenge like rattled everybody enough. And I feel like Ace and Shelley got on a pretty good page after that. And I was so ready to vote for them as my final couple and did not even imagine them going home when they did. And then they went home. And that made me really mad.
If they had been in the final four, I would have voted them to win for sure.
I feel like they've really like shown a lot of growth. They've been so cute together. Like, I don't know. I was a fan. And so I'm bitter about that.
I guess my question with the Ace and Shelley thing is, and this was more in the first half of the season, there was a lot of skepticism around how well they really knew each other before the show started, and if they had kind of planned or what's the word I'm thinking of?
Premeditated.
Premeditated going on this show together and kind of rigging it. Like that I do in the beginning, I did wonder if Shelley actually had feelings for Austin because it really didn't seem like it. And I was like, are they just playing a game? Did Ace choose to partner up with Amaya so that he wasn't with Shelley too soon? Like there was just some things that weren't really making sense to me when it was obvious how drawn they were to each other. And so I kind of didn't trust what was going on. And I don't think I understood what was going on, but it just wasn't adding up to me. And then towards the latter half of the season, I agree. I felt like I was starting to like they're so cute together. They have great chemistry. And even though I don't really like Ace, I do like Shelley. And I think that they make a cute couple.
Yeah, I love Shelley and I love how happy Ace made her. Like he really just seemed to understand Shelley. And I gotta
But
hand
like,
it
what
to
do
him.
you think of the beginning of the season?
I felt like that too. It definitely, the thing what, like, it's all rumors, right? Like, we won't know for sure
Yeah.
because there's nothing confirmed. But based on everything that I saw, like, yeah, it did sort of feel off. And it could be off for so many reasons, including that one. And if I found out that was true, yep, that tracks. I would not be surprised by that because the way Ace moved, the way Shelley was moving, it did sort of feel like, yeah, planned, but also it could just be that they were a little unsure of things. Like maybe they knew that there was chemistry, but they weren't really sure because like maybe they talked themselves out of it another time. Like there's reasons. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know, but that was my hesitation in the beginning.
Yeah.
I definitely did not start out team Shelley and Ace.
Shalace.
Shalace. I am surprised that Nick and Sierra made it as long as they did.
It is so wild to have footage of Nick with Sierra and then Nick with Alandria. And to just be like, one woman makes this man very happy. And
yeah, that's why it doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess that sort of like for me, Nick became more authentic when he really like went after Alandria and it felt like that was actually what he was doing. At that point, it felt more genuine. And with Sierra, it did sort of feel a little more calculated. Like he was definitely just trying to like maybe win the game.
Yeah.
Because Sierra didn't honestly seem like that much of his type anyway. And then, I mean, they got along. They were cute together. But like, I don't know.
Sierra's super sexy.
But like, his chemistry with Alandria has been off the chart the whole time. And
I know, it's so weird.
And maybe it's because like she was
Nick
with
is so close
Taylor.
to Taylor.
Yeah, and then Taylor and her, and like it just didn't feel like the opportunity really presented itself. So I am pumped that they finished together. I think they are the cutest.
There's so much noise on the internet about them faking it and it not being genuine. And I have to say, like, they didn't really have a lot of time to build that connection with each other. It was towards, the end of the show, which sucks. That being said, you guys, these people are not seasoned actors.
Yeah, we're not watching, Meryl Streep. Yeah, like, come on. They're not. It's Nick. Nicky Poo.
Yeah, and I think
Mamacita,
that
he's not capable.
no, not capable for sure. And I do think that, it's not like they just jumped into making out with each other all the time, but it's like they were starting to look at each other differently, starting to like be open to their connection shifting and changing. Whereas before, there was a lot of respect for each other's partners
Yeah.
because they were all friends. I don't know. I think it's complicated, but I do believe that they were open to a connection forming in the end. And it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. And I guess I also want to just clarify, like, I do think Nick was into Sierra. I just don't think,
Yeah.
like, to the extent that he is clearly into Alandria. And I think he's the winner of this season.
Oh my
Because I
gosh.
do not know how, I mean, good job, Nick. Good job.
I will admit, when I first like saw Nick, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he just reads like stupid fuckboy, like so
Absolutely.
immediately."
Yep.
Right? And I'm like, "How is this guy a nurse?" Like I'm just like, I don't get it. But as the season goes on, I immediately converted to Team Nick. Like I am heading the Nick fan club.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
sign me up.
Well, I mean, we talked about this over some voice memos. Like, Sierra was definitely dumb on the dick. And also, if I had been provided the opportunity, I too would have been. Like, Nick, that man, I mean, fuckboys are
because
fuckboys for a reason. And it is because sometimes they tap into something that just is like, not a lot of men do. And it feels like Nick does. So I get it. I get it, ladies.
I legitimately thought that Sierra was having more interesting conversations with Elan and that she was it felt like they were connecting in a way she wasn't really connecting with Nick, and I was really wondering if she would pivot. It was kind of hilarious how similar they looked. But I think she was just dumb on the dick. I don't really blame her.
Mm-mm.
So
No. How long did he last that first time? He's like 25 seconds?
I think it started out as 10 and then it got longer.
This isn't me being mean. This is a very big plot line in the thing, which was funny. I love that Nick can talk about that because, like,
Yeah.
should be talked
No
about.
shame.
Sometimes sex is very short. That's okay. Man, what was I going to say about Nick? Nick. He is an interesting person. I don't know. I did like his sister and his mom. He
yeah.
definitely comes from just like nice people.
Yeah, and I love how excited they were to. I mean, I know that his mom has been on TikTok, kind of like heading the Nicolandria campaign. Like the mom has been like, "Oh my gosh, she makes him want to be a man." Like the mom has a lot of mad respect for Alandria, and we are here for that.
Yeah,
So it was really cute to see them meet. But also just like his love for his mom and sister was really cute to see.
I know. He was crying when he realized, like, when they started crying, realizing that they were going to get to see their family. It was like Nick was like torn up. He was feeling his feelings, and I love that. I don't know. It's nice to see men cry and like be willing to show their emotions about things.
Yeah, there was a lot of men crying this season, and it was really refreshing to see that.
Yeah, we need more men crying. That should be normalized. Everybody should cry. It's very cathartic. Nick and Alandria. Okay, who else? What other couples stick out to you throughout this season?
Well, let's talk about our winning couple, Amaya and Brian.
Amaya
Papaya.
She's been I love her genuineness. I love the authenticity with which she just sort of speaks with her whole heart.
Her whole body.
Yeah. Amaya got the zoomies. I loved it. She's somebody that I would really love to be friends with. Like, Don't get me wrong. I also want to be friends with like Shelly and Alandria, but I know that I am not that level of cool. And not that Amaya isn't cool, but man, Amaya would be somebody that would be just fun to know.
Amaya is just someone you could be yourself around because she is seemingly herself around everybody.
Yeah.
It seems like her guard is down. She seems real. She seems like someone you can trust.
I know she was like giving out good advice, trying to like really like help people see both sides of things. Like this isn't a black and white issue.
Yeah. And she also has such like a young energy. I think I don't want to say she's immature because I think she's lived a lot of life and she's a grown woman with a nursing degree. But there's something about her that just seems like uninhibited
Yeah,
by
this world has not gotten her down.
yeah, and just like, damn, I want a little bit more of that.
Me too. Just less fucks, please.
Because the first 3 quarters of this season, she basically had zero connections. She faced multiple rejections. She had multiple men telling her she was too much. I could not handle when Zach said he only kissed her because he felt like she weirdly pressured him into that. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
That
that's-
moment really pissed me off.
No, well, and Austin had made a comment to her too of like, do you not understand what barada means? And like, shut up. Like, do not talk down to this woman. Yes, she understands. Like, the men were so stupid.
I just felt like, she was striking out left and right. She had almost gone home a couple of times. She had a really rough season. And despite it, I felt like, through her tears, she was always staying strong. She was staying true to herself. She was showing up genuinely, and it paid off.
It paid off. I feel like her and Brian, people have been kind of skeptical that he was only into her after he realized that America, okay, you were one of those people. I kind of feel like he's been into her.
I'm not saying that I don't think he's not into her now, but I do think at the beginning of it, I was a little bit like, I don't know. The timing was hard not to pay attention to.
Sure. I think that's valid. I think
and you
that
also need a connection to stay on the show.
Yeah, and he didn't have anybody. So, yeah.
Because he was going to go after Andreina, but then she got kicked off.
No, he was with her.
Oh, wait, he was with Andreina.
He was going to go with Jason?
Jaden. That's right. Sorry, I mixed it up.
Oh, my God. I know we don't have time to talk about all the people in Casa. However, her getting into the swimming pool with her heels on and Nick laughing about it, I do not know why. I looked all over. I just needed somebody else to acknowledge how absurd that was. And like collectively, at least on Threads, just everybody is like not even going to mention it. I'm like, is that not the weirdest fucking thing to get in a pool with your high heels on?
I talked to Noah. We were going to have a Love Island watch day and we were going to go to his apartment pool afterwards. And I was like, oh, but I'm going to be wearing my heels in the pool like Jaden. Like, I totally clocked how crazy that was.
Even Nick did. Like, he was laughing so hard. Like, he could barely keep it together. He thought she was kidding and she wasn't.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Okay. So, Amaya and Brian, are you now on board, at least for now?
I think that they're cute together. I think they do have chemistry. I think he's really sweet with her. I don't know if I see them going the distance as a couple, but I want the best for them. So whatever that looks like, I hope they get it.
Me too. Kind of on that note, Clark and Taylor, I think are really cute together. It doesn't seem like it's going to work. He's in vet school, which is so interesting that he like never said that once, or at least not that got picked up by cameras. And I don't think Clark's going to move to Oklahoma, but they're cute. I wish America had been nicer to Clark. I kind of hated that, but I don't know. I hope that they work out in the outside, but I'm not certain that they will. But if it's meant to be, I really hope it for them because they're cute.
I feel like Clark handled the Olandria stuff with such grace. I was so impressed with Clark the entire way. In fact, talk about normies. I mean, don't get me wrong. Clark is like stunningly beautiful. So she's not normal in that aspect. But I was like, and actually her and Taylor were on Nick Vile's podcast and I listened to it today. And it kind of confirmed that she herself was like, what am I even doing on this show? Like she was really shy. She said on her first challenge in the villa, she was like shaking. She was so nervous. And I just thought she handled herself through all the drama so well.
So well.
Yeah,
I
I was
loved-
so impressed with Clark.
Yeah, her comment to Taylor about you tip even if the service is bad. I was like, yes, this is a human being who understands nuance. Like I don't know. I loved that. I'm like, that speaks so highly of who she is as a person. And I'm sad that she got voted off sooner than she probably should have been. So, okay. Who else we've got?
Can we kind of just go through maybe some of the things that happen on the season?
Oh,
Like
Pancake Gate 1, Pancake Gate 2, Pancake Gate 3, and then I don't know,
and
like
then
Nick.
insisting on perfecting the crispy edges of a pancake.
Yeah,
for
so it did
Alandria.
come full circle, and I'm really glad that Nick understood the assignment for Alandria. Like, get those crispy edges. But damn, I did not expect like pancakes to be the center of controversy so many times.
Well, I think that's the only meal that they are in charge of preparing. Yeah?
It
They
seems like
never
it.
show them making lunch. They never show them making dinner except for the family dinner.
Okay, I know, which is so weird to me because they all still have abs, and are they just like only eating breakfast? Like, I don't know.
Maybe.
It's weird to me that we don't see them eat more, but I digress. Pancake Gate really got me. Huda. And then the C's for Sierra with Elan and Nick. Oh my God. Nick's petty. I am here for it.
And then Huda noticing that Chris gave Shelly 2 pancakes and only gave her 1 pancake.
And like, listen, that too would trigger me.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me?
I would notice too.
I like, and not for any sort of like favoritism problem, but because I also want 2 pancakes. Like, I never want 1. That's fucked. Give me 2. If somebody else gets 2, I get 2. Make more pancake batter. Split that pancake. I don't know, but like, I want equal opportunity pancake opportunities. So
If Jess was Huda in that,
it would have been way worse.
Jess would have fucking said something.
Yeah.
No, Huda did say something, but I felt like she actually approached it pretty calmly and rationally in the moment. Where I feel like Jess would have been like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah, it would have instantaneously been a fight in the makeup room over number of pancakes. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, lots of pancake drama. I was really bummed with this season's heart rate challenge compared to last season. I just felt like there was way too many people. I hated that it was couples.
The couple thing was so weird to me. That wasn't fun.
Yeah. I was just really bummed with the heart rate challenge. And I am interested to know in time what really went down with Huda and Ace because obviously things were edited out.
It's my understanding based on an interview with Taylor and Clark that Huda like literally sat her
On his face?
Just like full on cooter to Ace's face. And like, listen, if Huda had not hijacked the whole part, like it kind of seems like people really went hard for Huda of like, oh, it's a challenge. And like on the one hand, yes. But on the other hand, Huda had just spent the whole season freaking out over anybody even looking at Jeremiah. And then for her to turn around and do that just felt like, I understand why Shelly was like a little bit not sure how she felt about Huda.
Well, here's the problem with that edit is I think if we had seen what the cast had seen, which I understand why we didn't, but that we would completely understand why Shelly was feeling what she was feeling. I honestly was a little bit on both sides. And you and I talked about this.
Yeah,
where it's how did you feel about like Shelly being so mad at Huda? Because I also feel like the reason why people were so respectful about Huda and Jeremiah is that Huda was constantly vocalizing like, that's my man, like back off. They knew how territorial she was. And I guess part of me wants to believe that if Shelly was that like, not saying that you should be that way, but if Shelly was like more exclusive or more openly closed off with Ace, then there would have been more respect there. And so on the one hand, I was like, yeah, it is a challenge. And Huda is also just really good at these challenges.
Yeah, that is a Huda challenge. Yeah, I think that it just,
So I felt like the edit was a disservice to Shelley.
Absolutely.
It made Shelley look like she was overreacting.
Yes. And I'm mad at Time Magazine. They put out this thing basically calling out Shelley for telling Huda that she didn't want to talk that night as being toxic. And I was like,
That's not
I think
toxic.
that's so mature because
That is
she
mature.
knows that she's mad and she doesn't want to take that out on Huda and she's processing her emotions. And Shelley gets to feel all of that. If she decided to stay mad at Huda, that's Shelley's choice. And I feel like Shelley giving herself the space allowed her to finally reconnect with Huda and be like, I see that you don't have bad intentions. That's not who you are. You just sort of are a fucking idiot. Like, and that was like, that wouldn't have happened if they had gotten into a fight and that had become worse, you know? And I don't know. So I hate that that's kind of the nature of it. But yeah, I do think that in some ways it was a challenge. We should have seen more. Huda is wildly good at that. That girl can move her ass.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Huda also does a lot of things that are coming from a place of insecurity and not necessarily from
Yes.
confidence. Like, I
Yep.
think Huda is like, she wants a partner to be obsessed with her because she is constantly feeling like insecure otherwise. She wants the attention of people.
Yep.
She wants people to think she's beautiful. Like with the comment afterwards when she told
Oh
Chris,
my
like,
God.
would it be different if I was ugly? There's just like a lot of things that are kind of piecing together like the real image of Huda, which is actually someone who's like very insecure, very immature, doesn't have like healthy ways of regulating their emotions. And I don't know. I do think it was good that Huda was able to pretty quickly acknowledge that she fucked up. That being said, I also really struggle that she cried and made it all about her after that.
Yeah, that
So-
was Huda. Oh, problematic Huda. Yeah.
I will say that like as problematic as she is, you know, this season would have been a lot more uneventful without her. That being said, I really hope that she watches the show back and kind of, I don't know, like really pushes herself to learn and show up differently in relationships and for herself.
Absolutely.
Right? Like primarily for herself so that she can show up differently in relationships.
Well, especially like to model that behavior for her daughter. So her daughter can see
Yeah.
what it looks like to be regulated, to know your worth, to feel confident and not to not let anxiety and insecurity drive so much. And I do also hope that like cuz I think 23-year-old me watching this like rough, you know, like there are aspects of Huda's behavior that I'm like I find that relatable and that I just want to die on the inside. But it's like, man, hopefully other young 20-year-olds are watching this and can like maybe be so embarrassed that they get their shit together a little quicker. You know, like, hey, this may all be stemming from a place of hurt, but like it also does not make it okay. Like,
yeah, totally.
not acceptable behavior. And yes, you can empathize and understand that Huda is struggling and that it's harmful. So, you know, if any good can come from this, yeah, hopefully Huda changes and hopefully some other young women young men, I don't know if young men are as dysregulated as Huda per se, but maybe.
Any young person.
Yeah, like if you're feeling those feels, figure out how to regulate them.
You don't get to project them on other people and then like never take care of it.
Oh my God, no. So, does anything else stand out to you this season? Like any fun moments, any cringe
I was
moments?
just gonna say my two favorite moments on the season.
Okay.
Was one, Megan Thee Stallion.
We got to watch that episode together. You
Oh
just
my
happened to
God.
that was so fun. That was
Of all the episodes, I'm so glad we watched that one together.
me too. That was such a riot. That was the best time.
Also, can she just fucking host the show?
Please.
Because no, and it's not that I don't like Ariana, but there was something about when Megan Thee Stallion came in, the whole vibration of the show just like amplified.
Oh
It
my
was,
gosh.
Like,
Yeah, I still
everyone was like, I don't know. It felt like everyone was on cocaine or something.
Yeah, it was
Like,
incredible. It was so good. I mean, everybody's energy, the twerk off, so funny. I mean, and she was so into it.
She was so into it, and she was into all of them. You could tell she had been watching the show. They like loved that she was like she knew what was going on in each of their stories, that she knew their names.
I know. Alandria was like, I feel like ready to pass out just from like the sheer joy of it. Like that moment, it was, yeah, getting to see how excited the cast was about her, how excited she was about them. That was magic.
Yeah, I just really hope she comes back and does. Well, I guess she came on the show to kind of advertise her swimwear, which was so brilliant.
Yeah, very cute. Loved it.
Yeah, what a great way to put your swim line out in the world. And I would say my other favorite moment on the show was the babies episode.
Yeah, everybody handled that differently.
I was just cackling over the names, over them, the way they were handling the babies, over Amaya like neglecting the baby.
I love Shelly's like, is that even our kid? And Ace was just like, they're just stock clothes. Kids can wear the same things. I just, so good.
And Nick not knowing it was a boy.
Finding out that Nick's middle name is Marcel.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah. Would not have ever guessed that. That is not.
Never. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a fun episode. What were some of your favorite moments?
I'm trying to think. I really loved. I'm simple. I loved Huda telling Nick that she's a mommy.
Mamacita.
Epic. And Nick not understanding it because she's like, I have a daughter, and he's like, of a boy or a girl. And I was just like, oh my God, Nick, listen. But I also really, really loved the lumberjack challenge.
Oh,
and Nick and Alandria making out, and then he carries her out fireman style. I just was like,
I think I blushed.
I know that was so hot. So hot. Like that chemistry was off the charts. I don't know. That was just like seared into my brain forever.
Yeah, I can
Alandria's beautiful ass over Nick's shoulder. Yeah.
And his like face and his body. Like,
everything about that was just, yeah, so good.
I also remember Jalen telling Alandria the favorite part of his challenge was climbing the tree because he's a country boy. And I also thought that was hilarious.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that challenge was really fun. I'm trying to think of like specific moments. Everything sort of, it's so much TV.
So much TV.
The pancake thing, I think, is probably just, again, one of my favorite kind of themes throughout. But anything else overall?
No, definitely like nowhere close to season 6. I think overall my biggest critique of this season is kind of what you were talking to before. Too many influencers. We need people who are less known, who actually want to make connections. I felt like in season 6, there was a lot more casual like making out because people actually were interested in each other. And it was a little bit messier outside of challenges in that way.
Yes.
I was kind of over the fact that people were only kissing in challenges in this season.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt weird. I don't know. That felt a little weird to me. So I want people who are there to be on Love Island and not to get a following. And I want them to not, please don't fuck up Casa Amor. That's like the crux of the season. Like, please don't take that away from us. And also, we didn't get movie night.
Yep, I know. That bums me out too. I hate that. I also kind of feel like I want more body diversity on this show. Like, damn, is it like, you know, you're feeling bloated, not your best, and like watching this is so hard sometimes because it's just like, ugh, every single person on here. I also think rather than Love Island, maybe we can do Friendship Island and like who's gonna be like the ultimate best friend couple at the end. Like,
ooh, I like
because
that.
I super loved Nick, Taylor, and Ace's friendship. Like their bromance to me is the equivalent of
Just
Sierra,
bros.
Janae, and Leah last season. Like I just loved the way that they all bonded and showed up for each other and were emotional with one another and vulnerable. Like that I loved that. All right. Yeah, I just think that the friendship aspect of this show has a lot of potential, and I would like to see more of that. I think that that could be really fun because who doesn't want to come on a show to find friends? Like that feels like a better way to make an authentic connection than it does to like try and find the love of your life. But
Yeah, or maybe you could win as a friend couple or a romantic couple.
temptation, right? So like, do you want to have sex or do you want a friend for life? Like,
Yeah, like
which
a
do you
pair of
think
guys or a pair of girls or a guy-girl pair could win. Like, it's just like the most popular couple.
that would be fun? I would love that. So, yeah, otherwise, I'm glad to be done with this season. It was a wild ride.
Yeah, I think I kind of lost a little steam towards the end of the season, but I still enjoyed having something to watch. So,
Y- Yeah, getting through all of like, I don't know, life, it's a lot nicer when you've got dramatic reality television. So,
yeah,
we'll take
totally.
it.
Should
Okay.
we briefly touch on the Valley?
Oh my God, the Valley. The Valley. What are your thoughts?
Valley. I mean, this season's just really hard to watch. I think it's harder to watch than last season. Um, I think the Jax of it all is just becoming entirely impossible to like casually watch for fun. It's becoming more. I think that Valley is the darkest show on Bravo. I think it's just
I think the addition of kids really changes things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that at this point Jax is a known abuser and an addict, and unfortunately Bravo is kind of giving him a platform to exist on.
Mhm.
And a lot of people have come out and said he shouldn't be on the show. He shouldn't be on Watch What Happens Live.
No.
Like it is
He
becoming very problematic.
Yeah, he has a drug problem. He's abusive to Brittany. Like these are very there I am. Hi. Technical
Hi.
issues. Um yeah, it's problematic in a way that it's like this is somebody who could snap and like really harm his kid or Brittany.
Yeah.
And that's not fun to watch. That's not the kind of drama we need. Yeah, so that's not great.
And there's parts of the Valley that I do enjoy. I'm not just, forcing
Kristen and
myself to watch
Janet
it.
um are a mess.
Yeah, and different types of messy. We were kind of talking about this where I think Kristen is at least knowingly messy, where she admits like, yeah, I'm going to go stir up shit. I'm going to go spread this rumor that I heard to hurt these people because they're coming after my people. Like Kristen is very open about her messy. Whereas I feel like Janet is in denial about her messy. Like she's actually just kind of a evil, manipulative person, seemingly, that doesn't see that.
Yeah, she just goes wherever the winds blow and her story will fit the broader narrative as she needs it to. Like she's always got some backup. I don't know, it's not like a backup reason, but she definitely is always able to like change slightly what the intentions, right? So like her intention is always somehow good even though it makes no sense for it to have been a good intention cuz like why would you do any of this with good
Yeah.
intentions?
So, like, both messy, but completely different, and
Yeah.
both entertaining television, but both problematic.
Mhm.
I've really enjoyed Zach this season. I want more gays on Bravo. I think that
Please.
I don't understand actually after getting to love Zach more. I'm like, why don't we have more like gay people on Bravo? That
Well, I
actually
don't know because
doesn't make
Jasmine
sense
is
to
also
me.
excellent, right? Like
Yes, of
these two
course.
people add a lot to the Valley. They are some of the most fun people to be watching.
Yeah, and so I would love to see more of that as far as diversity and inclusion. And Jesse is also evil, that being said, there has been moments where I have enjoyed watching Jesse as well. Um, I also think that Jesse is kind of a similar messy as Kristen, even though I think it's more problematic than Kristen.
Yeah,
But I think
Jesse's
that
not
he's
masterminding anything. He's just what you see is what you get with him.
and he's also very much he knows what he's doing and he's speaking to it. So that's an interesting like I think that Jax always thinks he's trying to do better and is just never doing better. Whereas I
No.
think Jesse is like, I am going to drive my ex-wife crazy until I'm tired of driving her crazy. Like, I guess that's the difference for me. You know what I mean? And it's still
Yeah.
problematic, but because he's like speaking to it, it feels like at least he's able to own it. At least he's able to acknowledge it. At least he's able to, I don't know, for some reason that makes it a little bit more digestible for me. It doesn't change how problematic it is, but I'm like, at least he isn't in denial thinking he's always trying to do better when
Or
he's
that everybody's so stupid that we wouldn't see through your bullshit anyway, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hear you on that. Jesse's crowning moment this season so far was him sitting on the cruise ship while everybody's having a collective meltdown and he's just eating his food and is like, I don't know what's happening.
that and his grandma underwear appearance
Yes. Yes.
on the trip to Santa Barbara. That was
I mean, yeah. Jesse, man. I'm excited for Kristen and Luke. Look at them go.
Yeah.
Engaged. She just had her baby, though not in the show,
I also
but
think
in
they're
real
a
life.
very cute couple. Like I think that they actually make sense together, and
Because they're
I'm
both
happy
so
for Kristen.
weird.
They're both weird.
Like Luke showing up in that short ass shorts in the captain's costume, or like
What
sailor.
was that?
I don't know. It was like what he did change. I think somebody called him out and was like, "You can't be in everybody's faces with your dick out. Thanks." But like,
it was a lot.
It was a lot. And it's like, yeah, of course Kristen would be with somebody like that. Like that tracks. That makes me happy for Kristen. They are weird and they do not care.
That is true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other season highlights. I don't know. I think that the mess with Danny and Nia is really I think that's also really complicated.
Oh, yes.
I'm also wondering if Jax owns any other clothes besides his bar merch because I swear he hasn't worn anything else.
And that massive chain.
Oh, the massive chain.
I know. The Danny and Nia situation is tough because like Danny is definitely in the wrong.
He has a problem.
He has a problem. And he is assaulting women. Like, do not lay your hands on women. Period. End of story. And also, Janet weaponizing this and like utilizing this is also really gross. Like,
well, the problem is that Danny and Jasmine and her fiance have like they have worked through it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they, even Jasmine has said like we've moved past this. We're not talking about this anymore. And so, like, yes, what Danny did was extremely problematic, and I'm so glad that Jasmine and her girlfriend addressed it again.
Yes.
But the fact that they have like moved past it and that Janet is like weaponizing it on this trip to make a point is just that to me is
it's fucked. Like,
it's fucked.
That's not okay. That's really not okay. And also, it can be true that Danny needs to get help, and I hope he and Nia are like taking steps to like figure out what needs to happen because Danny seems like deeply unhappy. He doesn't want another kid. He didn't want to buy a house where she wants to buy it.
Now.
Oh, they have one. I know, which I cannot believe. 4 kids under 4. That is just wild. Like he's having to take those voice acting jobs or something. Like, I don't know. That also is just like all red flag behavior.
They kind of remind me of a lot of Utah where everything is seemingly perfect. They have like the cute family. They're both beautiful. They're successful. And I do think this kind of speaks to her being in pageants. Like
Absolutely. Yep.
she presents like very refined. She has it all together. She's never really showing any mess. And so I feel like that's kind of who they are as a couple. And like if you just kind of poke at it a little bit, you can tell there's actually like a lot of shit beneath the surface. But I also feel like when she shared kind of the stuff about her childhood and
Wow.
being
Yeah.
homeless and all of that, it also made even more sense why she kind of presents the way she does. And so you couple that with pageants, and I think that there's just like a huge wall there where she is protecting herself to an extreme degree,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I think that, I
And
mean, I never would wish that on anybody, but that is such an interesting side of Nia that I was not aware of. And I think that that makes her a more interesting person on TV.
same. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of men are just kind of naturally that way because our society says men should present a certain way and not necessarily be vulnerable or show their mess. And so I think it makes sense for Nia kind of to attach herself to someone who kind
Hmm.
of presents in a similar way. But I do think that there's seemingly a lot of stuff there that we're not even seeing.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I think
So
that that's so fascinating too, that dynamic with Brittany, Michelle, and sort of how Brittany is mad that Nia isn't showing as much of her shit and Brittany's showing all of hers. And then Michelle's upset that Brittany is getting treated differently than she's being treated, even though they're supposedly like going through the same thing. And in ways they are. Um, I don't know, the way kind of everybody, I don't know. I think it's interesting that Nia and Danny are getting the brunt of this. And I don't know, that's that tricky part of like how much are we owed as viewers of everybody's life?
yeah, that's always a huge question in reality TV, especially when it's like shows like Housewives or, Vanderpump Rules, Valley, Summer House, where it's returning casts. You and I talked about this,
Mhm.
how you tend to gravitate towards shows where the cast is like changing out each season. And I kind of like these shows where I'm like invested in these people's lives.
Yeah.
And I do think that that's an interesting, where does the show start and where does their personal life end? Like it's a blurry line.
Well,
And
I think we can thank Scandival for this conversation too, right? Because then Ariana and Tom got a lot of heat for like how genuine were they on the show, and then Tom, she's getting shit for not
mhm,
wanting to show more.
mhm,
It's messy,
totally.
but yeah. What do you make of Brittany and Michelle and like their situations and sort of like Michelle's? She almost seems jealous, which is wild to me. Like, you're really jealous of Brittany, who's married to Jax?
I think it's so even though I uh like Jesse is horrible. I also don't really like Michelle. There's something about Michelle that just seems kind of off. And I think a big part of that might be the fact that she's trying to compete with Brittany about how
Yes.
Jesse is like worse than Jax. And that, yeah, like you said, she seems jealous. And I also think I don't know what happened. And I'm not saying that she was having an affair with Aaron with Jesse. All I'm saying is like, her being in a relationship 2 weeks after the divorce, I don't know. There's some stuff there, okay?
Sure,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna say, like, there's stuff there that I don't understand. And I I also thought it was so bizarre at the beginning of the season when Michelle expected Jesse to not stay at the house at the trip he planned. Uh,
That was so wild to me, and that she was, like, making people vote on that. I'm like,
yeah,
"Girl, that
I
I
mean,
can't back you up on this at all." Like, your option you get a hotel room.
yeah, like if he hadn't been the one to plan the trip, like sure, let's vote Jesse out of the house. But he planned the trip. I'm assuming paid for the house. Like I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't seem like that gets to be somewhere where you have an opinion. So I just think that she weirdly asserts herself in ways that I'm like, this had to contribute in the dynamic that is now you and Jesse, right?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think that While I think that Jesse is horrible, I also don't think that Michelle is innocent in whatever's going on between them.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I feel like Brittany is a lot before everything went down. It did seem to me that Brittany earnestly wanted things to work with Jax.
Yeah, I feel that way. I think Brittany was more than happy to settle down and let Jax be the person that she grew old with. And
Yeah.
she, for better or worse, I think really did try to make that work.
Yeah, and like when she unfortunately told Jax about Kristen's engagement, she shouldn't have done that. But I also did relate to her when she was like, this is the person that I've told everything to for the last 10 years. Like,
Oh,
I can
yeah.
relate to that and understand that that's like a weird. Yes, Jax couldn't keep secrets, so you shouldn't tell him anything. But also, I understand him just being that person for her and her trying to like navigate that in a different way. And even though she can say, he is an abusive husband and he's not a present father and all these things, still struggling with creating that new boundary with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just think that they're entirely two different situations. And I think that I don't think you can compare the two. And I think it's really bizarre that Michelle's coming on this show wanting her shit to stink more than Brittany's.
I know. That is also, yeah, it's wild. It almost feels like a way of trying to deflect from the fact that she definitely, yeah, Jesse's a piece of shit, but like she has some weird things too. And her behavior is not, I don't know. She's got things that she's got to work through. And it sort of feels like this is her way of trying to like avoid having to reckon with that by being like, no, it's been so bad for me. And it's like, well, yeah, but, and it has. So I guess no, but, and you have clearly a part to play in this.
Yeah, totally.
So, because her and Jesse, man, like at the end of season 1, where they had or maybe it wasn't the end of season 1, but that big dinner party that they had, and there was that huge blow up. Like her and Jesse, like went at everybody together in a way that was like, whoa, you guys definitely have a dynamic here.
Oh yeah. No, there's just something about Michelle that I can't quite. Like, I don't think we're seeing all of Michelle.
Well, yeah. And it's like, it's not the suffering Olympics. You can both be going through really horrible divorces and have really fucking shitty ex-husbands. Like, that can just be that. Like, why does it have to be who has it worse?
And also, if you're feeling like Brittany's getting more support than you are, like, ultimately, why isn't that something that you, like, why can't you tell your girlfriends that? Why can't you tell,
Vocalize it. Yeah.
like, I'm so glad we're showing up for Brittany in this way, but, like, I need more support than I'm getting.
Definitely. And that's reasonable. Like, be an adult and communicate your needs, because also sometimes people just don't realize that you need help. Ask for help.
I do think that Michelle went through, like, her mom recently died of cancer, and she was really close with her mom, and Jesse, I think, made all of that even harder. So,
a grieving element to all of this.
Yeah, I think that there's something. I think that that's probably an added layer that isn't really. I know she brought it up on the show, but I don't think she talked about it on Nick Vile's podcast, like actually how bad it was. And Jesse like wasn't letting Isabella spend needed time with her, and her mom only had like so long left. And I don't know, it sounded like it was really ugly. So I just think, there's more there than we're getting. That being said, I just wish she was. I don't think that Michelle is really cut out for reality television.
No, I don't either. She does not want to toe the line of sharing her life. She is trying to curate it to a point where it's just like, but this isn't real. So let's just not.
And the fact that she's already talking about like getting married to Aaron on the show, and
yeah,
I don't know. It just is a little strange.
It is. Yeah, I agree. She's kind of off-putting. I don't like her. Anything else about the Valley?
No.
Yeah.
We're almost done.
Right.
It's wrapping up soon.
It has to be. I mean, I guess it doesn't. I'm surprised. I kept thinking that I was watching the season finale and then I wasn't. So I don't know what the episode count is this season, but we're at episode 13. So that's the most episodes I think we've gotten of The Valley so far.
It might go up to like 15 to 17.
Wow. Okay. Not mad about it. More TV to watch.
Just because that's like about what seasons normally are on Bravo.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say that's kind of what Vanderpump was hitting. I'm excited for the reunion.
Same.
That's going to be messy. Yeah.
Well, let's watch more of Big Brother, and
Yeah.
I think we should talk about that on our next podcast.
That sounds good. I know we've been comedy of errors today, so
Jess and I have decided to kind of restructure the way we're doing this podcast a little bit, just because we're both kind of, life, right?
life is life and again. Yeah.
But we miss podcasting, and we're like, how do we make podcasting fit into life without making it contribute stress to our life? And so I think instead of doing more of a rigid recap model, we're just going to hop on here and try to be consistent about when we're hopping on here and just talk about reality TV. So we're going to stay up to date on Paradise and Big Brother. And I think our plan is to just like have fun talking about it with each other and stick a microphone in front of our face.
Yeah. I think the goal is every other week?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just watching every episode in a timeline can just be really tough when we're on the schedules we're on. So this way we've got a little flexibility to just like, if we miss an episode, we don't feel like we can't podcast. So
yeah, we wanna talk to you guys and to each other and have fun doing it. We just need a little bit less rigidity, and we hope that you'll be just happy to join our chaos.
Yeah, we are so grateful. I don't know what happened. A couple months ago, we got like 120 downloads. So thanks, whoever did that. That's awesome. We see you. We don't. We have no idea who you are, but we're grateful. So.
And we hope you stick around and want to hang out with us some more. And to anyone who's just been listening from the beginning, we see you, we love you, and thanks for coming back, even though we've taken a couple hiatuses.
Yeah, we promise it is just, it's not because we don't want to be here. It's just like things have just been a lot. So this also means a lot to us. Yeah, tell me about it, Mandy.
The last year's been insane, okay?
I know. I'm impressed that you have shown up the way that you have shown up. Props to you. That's pretty incredible. So,
but I'm so grateful that I have a Jess to podcast with.
Do have a Mandy, not a Jess, but yes.
That I'm here to podcast, we're just rolling in gratitude lately.
Yeah, this is so fun. I'm glad that this will be back in our lives. I definitely need the levity and the joy and structured Mandy time. So,
okay, we love you.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Drama Bonded is produced and hosted by Jessica Brumbaugh and Mandy Booth. Graphic designer is Pigeon House. Special thanks to everybody who has downloaded and listened to us. We are so, so grateful for your support. Thank you.